Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here. And if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
Well, I think I could have done better throughout this career had I, like, I don't know. You just, there's, you get, you can read a script and go, I know what they want. Especially if you sit before when we went to waiting rooms and you could look around, you're like, oh, I'm not the I'm not the type. I'm doing a totally different take. Well, leaning into that. I'm just going to do my thing. And you hope for it, hope that it turns out. It's turned out enough in my career that I've been able to survive.
Yeah, well, apparently so. I used to like going to casting facilities where they'd be casting for voiceover and on camera. And you'd walk in, there'd be like 3 or 4 guys dressed like me, or shorts and T-shirts and sandals. Then a bunch of guys who look like they're, third year of law school and pissed and arrogant and, I know there are no glasses in these lenses in these glasses, but I look more intelligent.
Yes.
See, I'm a lawyer now. No, I'm not.
Yep. Meanwhile, they're your waiter that night.
Yes.
Which is what I was often.
Yeah. Did you have that period where you had the acting bug, you had a job or two, and then you still had the acting bug, but without the job or two. Yeah. So you had to get a job.
Yeah.
And
I waited tables. I started in Texas and I went to an acting school for 2 years, and this little school that doesn't exist anymore in East Texas, which had a terrible acting teacher, but the technical part of the theater I really enjoyed, and drinking beer was fun. And so I did that a lot.
I've heard of that.
So I grew up a little bit, and I learned a lot about how theater works and how to put on a show. And then I went to Dallas, back where I was from, and I did a couple of little plays, and I was in an improv troupe, which taught me a lot.
Big theater presence in Dallas?
There is, yes. There's the Dallas Theater Center is the big theater, and I noticed all the big actors that they had coming to play the large roles were from New York City or Los Angeles, California. But you could be big in Dallas, and you'd really have to make it big to really get one of those roles.
Yeah.
So I thought I need to go I got a role. I got a role in a play that was written by these 2 Yale, God bless them, I don't know what they're doing, these 2 women. It was written by them, and it was being co-directed by them. And I got a role, and they said, here's a monologue you're going to do. It was like little vignettes. It was about AIDS. It was to help. I don't know if we were making money, we were raising money for AIDS, but it was that was the main through line of all the different scenes within the play. And mine was a page of rap. Well, they're like, rap it, like you're a rapper. And it was very profane.
Okay, sure.
I was like, she likes my bleep, I give her my bleep, we do the bleep, I want to oomph, bleep. And it was, and they had me rapping it. And I don't know if you've noticed, I'm very white. And I know Eminem is very good, and he is also very white, but I don't have that talent.
Yeah,
I don't have.
Well, he doesn't either. So
What?
it's
Really?
no, I'm just kidding. No. Hey, Em, wherever you are. Come on, Emmy. Come on. Have fun.
So I got done with the rehearsal, and they said, that was amazing. You were so good. And I went home, and I said, I need to go back to school because that was terrible, and I can't. I can't say exactly why. I can't articulate the specifics of the awfulness.
Okay.
And I asked somebody in my improv troupe, hey, what's a good theater school? And they said, Juilliard's good. I said, okay, where's that? And I found out it was in New York, and I auditioned and got in.
Yeah.
So I had done 2 years of trying to make it in Dallas.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That's good as it gets.
It was great for voiceover because they took my...
Juilliard?
There were more voice classes than acting classes.
Oh.
Which at the time...
I wouldn't have
I counted
seen
the
that one
hours and
coming.
went, wait a minute. There's not enough acting here.
I'm getting short.
I'm doing more voice classes, and I'm annoyed by it. Because it's a shake. They want to teach you to do classical theater. And so you do the
Everyone
Edith
sounds
Skinner.
like Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Yeah.
The like guest directors come and go, why does everybody have an English accent? Like, this isn't an English accent. This is mid-Atlantic speech. And it's this weird.
That's right. That 1940s Tarzan speak.
Yeah.
But Tarzan, where are you going?
Yes.
You know, where's she from? She's
As an African, I am going over here.
yes.
Hey, weird. What are you doing here? He was a child. He was lost. There's a whole story to it. But it was weird that he was the king of the jungle. Was a white guy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I always thought that too.
Seems strange.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
Yes.
But yeah, they taught me a lot about, like, they took away my Texas accent, which I had at the time. It was probably just a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because you're straight away. I mean, there's no accent.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think
When I get on the
about.
phone with my parents or anybody from Texas, it's, comes right back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure of that. Yeah. Down in the West Texas town of El Paso.
That's where I was born.
I fell in love
With a Mexican girl.
El Paso, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I spent a very memorable year there. That's where my roots are.
I did too, but it was just over a weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it felt like a year.
Did you go to a con there?
I think so. I think that was me.
I wonder if I was at a con in El Paso, and somebody
ago.
tried to kill the green Power Ranger.
What?
Somebody was tweeting about it. I'm coming down there to kill the Power Ranger. And I've got guns and I'm going to do it. And then it kind of like came around to like the guests. They're like, hey, did y'all hear that there's somebody? And he got in.
Ooh.
And because he was not very smart, and I guess it was a cry for help because he was giving his location at all times.
Stop me before I almost
They went up
again.
to him and he had several weapons on him.
Whoa.
That was scary.
Dang.
That was my last experience with El Paso.
Well, Kinky Friedman had a song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, called "The Asshole from El Paso," and I thought, well, now here we go. Yeah,
It was about him.
Yeah, it could have been about him. Yeah, and I liked Kinky Friedman because his guitar was fashioned. He adapted it, the guitar neck, onto a toilet seat.
Wow.
So
like the strings were in the bowl?
It was just. Well, no, just the seat.
The hole.
Not the basin, the pot.
Yeah.
But
The ring.
The ring, yes. Like from the men's here. This'd make a great guitar. No, let's get one from Best Buy. These are used. You don't want to. Come on, Kiki. Come on. Yeah. Ooh, how'd we get on that?
Who's
right
your
to the
favorite?
toilet bowl.
What kind of music do you listen to?
More or less, I like Afro-Cuban jazz. I like R&B.
Really?
Really
Jazz.
like R&B. Yeah, a lot of jazz stuff like that. Not a hell of a lot of classical. Not too much pop music anymore.
Pop music has changed.
I don't even know what's going on out there now.
Taylor Swift. That's all I know. And people with names that I don't know. One names. A lot of one namers. There weren't a ton of one namers. I was coming up. Sting, Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna.
Prince.
And then formerly known as Prince, but he's Prince.
Yeah, he's Prince.
There was just a few really big heavy hitters that got one name, and now most everybody just has one name. Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember Paul, John, George, and Ringo. They each had a name. So there. Yeah, that was
Peter, Paul, and Mary. I guess they were one name.
That's true.
They each got one name.
That's true.
To do their folk.
They were the OGs.
Chad and Jeremy? No. Peter and Gordon? No. They don't count. Ooh,
Paul,
God.
Simon, and Garfunkel. They did last names. Simon and Garfunkel. I'm a big Paul Simon fan. Love Paul
Me
Simon.
too.
Yeah.
Bachman Turner Overdrive. Where did this go downhill? Boy, they're going, he's talking about Bachman Turner Overdrive. He's old.
Have you done any music for Disney? Mm-hmm. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. Well, I guess I did one, but it wasn't good.
Yeah. Well, I sang a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I grew up with those books. I remember I had a Mary Poppins book, and you could listen to it, and then and you'd turn a page, or
yes, that's right.
I forgot about those.
Like sing along type of enjoy the movie again just through a book.
I think I've done one or two of those. I think over the years.
I wanted to do, and I pitched it to John Lasseter when he was there, that King Candy should do old vaudevillian songs. Like I used to have a Jerry Lewis
Buffalo
song.
Gals, can't you come out tonight?
That would be great.
Like
Buffalo girls, can't you come out tonight? Please come out tonight. Oh my gosh, come out tonight, all of you. Come out tonight. And he was like, What? Like, I'm sorry. What are you saying?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, we just got to do a recording. We'll do an audio release for some old vaudeville songs. And he ignored me, and then I caught him again at a party, and was like, "Hey, I want to make another shot at this. We should do an audio thing." And he said no. So I don't think he bothered to say no. He just looked at me like, "You're so strange."
Yeah, he just looked at me. Can you freshen this up for me?
Yeah. God, you're still here. He was always very generous to me. He was very. I credit him with.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, he was
so
a
much.
pretty brilliant guy, and he had a lot of Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, he did.
I remember I used to have a few of them, and we ran into each other a few times, and I like your shirt. He goes, I like yours. I said, oh, all right. Then that was exciting. Yeah. And then he said, no, you have to go now. So I did.
He was man. Well, he's working at Skydance now.
Yeah,
Skydance.
I think he's doing fine. I don't think we're worried about him.
No, I'm not worried about him.
No.
Would you like to play a game? We have a little game on this show.
This is true.
Yeah.
A voice swap game.
Oh no, I'm going to be bad at this.
No, you'll be fantastic.
Can I tell you a story?
You sure can.
Oh no.
I don't know if you're going to like this story, but it was. I always wondered if you knew this, and I wondered if you. I'm glad I'm here. I thought you might anyway. When you did Christopher Robin, there was a point where they said, you did Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah.
And you did Tigger.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yeah, we both knew that word was coming.
Eventually. Or one of the people that they offered it to, because they wanted you just to do Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Was me.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yep. Me. And I said, I think Jim Cummings does this role. And they said, no, we're going out to someone else. I called Nolan North and I said, what the hell is this? And he said, I guess it's what they're doing. I don't know why Jim isn't doing it, but if they've asked you to audition, I said, no, they offered me the role. He said, you should take it. And I said, I can't do it. And I tried. I worked, I said, I can't do it. Yeah, Nolan, I'm throwing Nolan under the bus.
Backstabbing.
Son of a bitch. And I would do it. I would try it. And it was one of those voices. I'm like, it's right here. Right where my voice needs to shift over, I don't have any access to. I don't have a space there. I can't do it. And so I wrote him a nice letter and said, thank you so much. I love this role. Ever since I was a kid, he was my favorite role. And he was the one I identified with, and you know, with your work and how just through the years he has maintained this special spot in my heart, and because of that, I can't do it. I would never be able to do it justice, and I thank you. And I was so genuine and loving about the role. They said, "Well, now you have to do it." I said, No, you guys,
you don't understand.
I can't do it. And they said, "You have to come in now and prove to us you can't do it." So it took about 5 minutes, and they went, "Oh yeah, you can't."
Oh jeez. Oh, thanks.
I had to show up to fail. I was like, here's where let me show you. It's going, I'm getting closer, and then you know where it's supposed to be. I can't get there. It's right here. And I'm like pointing in my mouth. It's right in here. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm glad you finally did it.
Yeah.
That's that producery ideas. Those are those producer ideas.
Yeah, it was a weird one. We went in and saw, I took my one daughter into, for some reason, we were both free, but they said, would you like to come in and see the show? It's about 70% done. And so we go, and I won't be bringing up the fellow's name who was doing Tigger.
Yes,
great guy, great actor, great guy, but he wasn't Tigger.
No.
And
did he try to do, or was he just doing him?
It came across, oddly enough, it had a Rodney Dangerfield quality. Hey, I'm Tigger, all right? Oh. Hey, forget about it. Who, okay?
Oh, wow.
You know, and it was, and you know, and my daughter and I went, I can't.
No, that's so hard.
That's different, isn't
I wish
it?
you didn't have to see that. That's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Did that and break your heart?
Well, it was funky because it was just she and I, and then the producers and director sitting like 8 feet behind us in the room, about this size. You know, they're sitting there. We're here. Here's the screen, and we're going. Mm. You know, and I was thinking they can't see my face, right? Like from behind, and it was just it made you mad enough to smack your grandma.
Yeah,
it was that, and sure enough, on the way home, the phone rings and, Jim, it's Mark Foster. How are you? Very good. He goes, I'm sorry I wasn't there, but I know that you saw the movie, and what did you think? And I went, I think it's going to be great. and he said, well, I was thinking we could talk about Tigger. And my daughter's going,
yeah.
And I go, let's do that, shall we? So the good news is that I got to do it. The bad news is they had already filmed it, and you could tell by the way it was. So I was stuck with the rhythm. I was stuck with the rhythm of it, and it was really hard. And some of them we fixed. Some of them we were able to fix, and others we were able to fudge. And it came out great. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just fine.
I'm so glad that came around finally.
Oh, but yeah, me too. Me too.
Tough. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
It makes my stomach turn a bit.
But I don't think I've ever told that before on the podcast.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, that's the way of the world.
You mentioned iRobot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people didn't know I did Sonny the Robot on iRobot, and there's a reason for that.
Actually,
because they were doing test audiences with the movie, and they score the characters in this kind of test audience, and I got word back. Alan, you're testing higher than
Will Smith.
Nice.
He's about to slap you.
And then I was gone. I was done. There was no publicity, and my name was not mentioned. They wanted to.
That's what you get.
Yeah. And I was so shocked. I was like, but wait, how do they? But nobody's going to know that And they're like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That was such a good performance too.
It was, yeah. I put a lot into it because he had to move like a robot, so I had to move. It was very, it was whatever it was. At the time, I was very upset. It took me that was something I had to.
I mean that freaking interview scene with you and Will Smith. I mean, that hits you in like multiple times. You know, it's like an emotional scene, and it's like giving humanity to a robot. You know, and I think that scene's like very important for the whole movie, is because that's when we as an audience really feel connected. You know, especially when it's like, you know, can you paint the Mona Lisa? You know, can you build a chair with your own hands? And can you? Yeah. And it's still true to this day. You know, it gets re-brought up again, you know, with AI. I saw that like a meme of it, you know, and it was like, can you create, you know, that, you know, what was that? You know, the meme I'm talking about with the white lady and she's like screaming, you know, and usually has the reaction with the cat. You know what I'm talking about? You'd know if you saw it. Anyway. But yeah, it's funny how those
memes in my head.
It's funny how that movie stayed relevant for such a long time, especially now with all these AI conversations and everything like that. You know, it's kind of just getting rehashed again.
It's a tricky thing, you know, like the voiceover and the animation. I'm being, and I don't anticipate even being nominated. But so we were talking about awards earlier, when you get nominated for to get nominated for, let's say, an Emmy, the production has to put you forward for nomination.
Like
you're talking about. So where K2SO is, and they said, do you mind if we put you up for voiceover for an Emmy. And I was like, no, go for it. That sounds great.
Sure. I'll take an Emmy.
I motion captured it. It's cheating, kind of.
Yeah.
Not to call myself out
so?
here.
What do you mean? What?
Because
It's not animated? There. Is that what you...
It is animated because they erased me and they animated.
Yeah.
But I was in the room. I'm at the wheel. I'm with the actor back and forth. My voice is completely attached to the world that everyone is seeing. Mm-hmm. I guess in that way you could also say it's a hindrance because my imagination gives me a lot that would never be... They can't budget
never
my
be
imagination.
Realized. Right, yeah.
My imagination has a much larger budget than Disney can
right.
afford. But it is interesting.
Not everyone could say that, by the way. Or should. You know?
Yeah. Well, the way the world is now. Anyway.
Yeah.
The business. But voiceover is a tricky thing. In motion capture. I know that Andy Serkis believes that he had a whole campaign that he believed that he should have been up. He could have been considered for an Oscar for performance in the eight movies.
I'll buy that. Yeah.
I'm
especially. I mean, you look at him and you look. Jesus.
Andy's. Andy's the godfather of it, but I disagree. And I've had arguments with VFX guys. Like, I shouldn't be put up for anything. iRobot, they let me talk to the foreign press, so the Golden Globes people. They did bring me to that, but it was just like a conversation. And it's like all these people that are older with a lot of jewelry and clothing that looks like it could be also used for couches, like very heavy knits and weaves, all around hats and they're all European. And they said, "Do you think if you were nominated for Oscar, you should be for this role of Sonny?" And I said, "No." And that was the wrong answer.
Oh, yeah.
They said, "Well, you know?" I said, "No, because they changed my performance here and there. I noticed it. I said, here's how it should be done. Yes, I'll say yes, but you should watch it with me in my little green suit. And if you see my performance in a little green suit and you like that, then that's what you should give me the award for. Because I've seen it with me in the green suit, and it's different from the robot. It's more. Because you can't, at that time especially, you couldn't animate. There were like moments where he was saying, "I'm going to die. Will I dream? Will it be over?" And it was confusion and hope and love and fear. And as humans, we give off all these little minute things like monkeys.
Little pheromones.
Yeah. And
micro-expressions.
Micro-expressions, and our faces flush and things that we perceive as other humans that you can't animate. You can't put that into the glassy face that I was. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Sonny.
Well, it was a great collaborative effort in
I
that
loved
case.
it. I loved getting to live in Vancouver for 6 months. And now
good old Vancouver. That's where I'm
favorite
from.
Place. Really?
Yeah.
I lived there. That's where we do Resident Alien.
Yeah. Oh, you'd film it up there.
Yeah, I have a place there now.
What, VFS? At VFS? What studio?
No. Oh,
Bridge?
We're at like someplace.
You're in Delta. You're filming in Delta.
Yes.
Way down south.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where they shoot a lot.
I enjoy it. We had a good time.
Sorry, that gets me excited. I love the film industry up there. It's all so tight knit.
It's very cool. Yeah. We live there 6 months out of the year. Now the show, I think, possibly maybe finishing here, and we have a place up there. And it's like, well, what do? We have to. We're not leaving, so we're going to be going in a couple of weeks because we did the winter. Yeah. We have earned the summer.
Oh, yeah. Really?
That's what I always say. Vancouver's such a great place in the summer.
Yeah.
The winter is not so fun. And it doesn't really snow, but it's just not fun. It's dark and cold and rainy. And
the days are very short.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You wake up, especially if you're on a set and you go to work in the dark, and then it gets dark again around 5.
Isn't that the most depressing feeling?
Yeah.
Wake up in soundstage the whole day, pitch black, artificial lights, like this. There's no windows in here, but and then you go outside and it's like, oh, it's dark again with they have the orange street lights. It feels so old fashioned up there. It's like,
I have one of those little those little lights, the little.
Vitamin D?
Yeah, vitamin D lights.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Keep it by the coffee maker in the morning.
Just leave it down.
Turn on the coffee, turn on your light.
They have vitamin D pills at Crafty.
Yeah.
They have vitamin D pills at Crafty because everybody's like, oh, we need sun.
Oh, jeez.
It does take it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Interesting.
But it's I swear, there's no better place in the summer. It's smells like pine and can see for miles, so clear. And
it is a beautiful place.
Have you been on a boat out on the water there?
Yeah, you can rent a boat and just give them your driver's license. They're take it out. It's okay, bring it back, You can drive it, right? Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
bye.
That's the agreement.
I'm a pilot. Abyssinia. Wow.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's really cool.
I want to go now.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Go. Everyone.
I think I've been there a couple of times. But
you for sure. I've been there with you.
Yeah, we stuff like that.
Canadians aren't coming here anymore, but you can go there and see another way to live.
See another way to live.
It's a little more brotherly love.
That's right.
Although it was explained to me, Canadians are very nice and people think of them as sorry and sorry. But if you bump into a Canadian and you don't say sorry, then they'll say, excuse me, I'm sorry. But you bumped into me and you didn't say I'm sorry. You all right? Everything going okay?
Everything
don't mess with the Canadian.
They'll
gaff you.
Have some bacon.
Put some bacon on that. Shiner.
Yeah, Shiner. That's right.
Another classic character of yours that we haven't mentioned is Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball. Beloved character. And I just wanted to say to you, that was another one, like I said at the top of the show, about you, in my mind, not really being a character actor, because even though that is such a character, there's a literal twist at the end of the movie, and it's just you being, a normal person and not Steve. And I don't think that works at all if you're not 100% that character and believable, it was such a great portrayal that I think that beat in the movie doesn't even hit unless you hit that entire character. So I just wanted to say you did a great job, and it's very memorable.
Thank you. I got that. I got that role because of my ego. I read it. I read the script and I said, this is funny. If you get rid of this pirate character, this thing is going to be an HIT hit, I tell you. And my agent was like, I'm sorry, you didn't really listen when I told you before. You need to focus on the pirate character. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it works. I don't know. And I went to the audition, and there were all these actors who were very good in the waiting room, who were going in for the pirate. And I was like, well, if they know something that I don't, I better actually try for this thing, because these guys are really good.
Wow.
Oh, man. I wish I could think of the names. I can't think of their names. It was a lot of good people. And so...
Brad Pitt,
yes.
George
exactly.
Clooney.
You were there, too.
George Clooney was there.
George Clooney was there. If Marlon Brando was still alive, and he was there.
Yes,
he was the one. He almost got it.
Yeah. Went to Pacino, I think.
At first, and when he turned it down,
and then
I got it.
That's why I knew there was the connection.
You knew Pacino.
Yeah, I knew.
This guy's insane. He looks a little like a pirate. He looks like he's been at sea without sunscreen
he's been
on.
At sea. That's exactly right.
A long time.
Yes, and drank a lot of salt water.
A lot of salt water and a lot of rum.
15 men on a dead man's chest.
So I auditioned for it, and then it was improv that got me the role, because it was an improv audition. The callback was an improv audition.
Oh.
And it was with Vince Vaughn, and he was very nice. But the character just had to say yar and gar in the right spot. They're like, how are we going to make money? I remember, how are we going to make money to save the gym? And I said that we would catch whales for oil. Sell the oil.
Yeah.
And I think that got me the job.
Well,
yeah.
Will oil be... Okay, never mind. There's an old joke about pirates and...
Will oil be...
hooked. Yes.
Oil be hooked.
Okay, don't try that one at home, kids. Oh, my God. So what is your... Do you have a schedule we should know about? I think
I should,
some things are coming up.
I do need to... Oh, like what I'm doing in my career?
Anything. No. That or conventions, whatever you have.
No, I mean, I'm... Resident Alien is coming out, and that's going to be, I got to direct a couple of episodes.
No way.
Yeah, directed the first 2.
Is that like typical? Well, I'm acting now, but I really want to direct.
I was given the opportunity, and it seemed like I should do it. Because when else am I going to get the opportunity to just direct with the budget?
Because you can.
Yeah. And I had done it before on this little thing that I did with Nolan North, actually, called Con Man, about conventions. We raised a ton of money from fans and made this little film about the cons. Not a film, it was like a limited series.
Short subject.
Short subject thing. Yeah. And I had so much fun writing that and directing it. I directed it mainly because I was too afraid to ask directors. And
well, did you go to conventions? And
yeah, I've been to so many.
Yeah, me too.
We didn't film at any conventions. We made some, but Nolan North was the second best motion capture artist. I met Nolan doing a video game because I got an offer to do motion capture for a video game, and I was like, that's going to be great for Con Man. I would just take jobs for whatever I could write Con Man about. And I met Nolan, and I was like, I had been thinking this other actor in England for this character to play the second best motion capture artist. But Nolan North was doing the character, and he called him Jerry Lansing, and he got everybody's name wrong. And so changed his name to Jerry Lansing and hired him to do it. And he hates Andy Serkis. That's the defining quality. He hates Andy Serkis because he's the best. So he's like, all he does is monkeys.
Oh, God.
Smeagol was a gibbon. And
Smeagol. Oh, my God.
Smeagol. He was the greatest. But I directed that, and I hadn't directed since. And I don't think it's a really good idea to direct yourself because you can't. But I did.
That will do it.
Yeah, it's
that would be weird.
I had my wife. My wife was there, and she's a choreographer, and choreographers have a director's eye, and so she would direct me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it couldn't hurt to have someone there who is used to telling you suck.
Yes, exactly, and knows what I want. She knows what I like and what I don't like. I think more or less. And yeah, God bless her.
Yeah,
she's also smarter about shots. Like I cared about the comedy. When it came to the comedy, I had lots of ideas, like how it needed to be done. No, that isn't funny, but this is funny. I was happy that I had those ideas. She would be like, "We need a crane for this shot." We do? Oh, good. Let's talk about that. So all of the pre-production, she was very instrumental.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, Carissa
That's
Barton,
very
God
cool.
bless her.
And that's Con Man?
That's Resident Alien, but Con Man was the other one. Yeah, Con Man. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It didn't age well
today.
It doesn't work today. I was a first time writer, and everybody likes to do something edgy, and it turns out you have to be really good at edgy to pull it off. And some of the stuff, even though my heart was in the right place, like I did a thing about voiceover artists because I had been asked early in my voiceover career. I played a Korean character. I played a black character. I played a Hispanic character. I played a super gay, like over the top, gay character that I found. I'm like doing it like, isn't this offensive? This is offensive. I mean, if you're gay, this would be offensive.
If you're doing it right, it is.
Yeah. So the character, the voiceover episode, which I think is probably one of the best ones. I end up going to a panel as a voiceover actor. I had done work on something called, I forget, but I played only minority characters. And I end up on a panel that's about it's all about inclusiveness. And inclusiveness, so that where people get to actually do their own. They aren't being asked to do caricatures. They're doing true inspirational roles. They're playing kings and things like that. Black artists are playing kings and stuff, and I'm there playing Rigmarole, who was an awful pimp. He was a pimp.
Rigmarole.
Rigmarole. Yeah, he talked. Oh shit! And it was a character I had done on a MTV thing.
Is it hard out there for a pimp?
Well, for Rigmarole it was, but
that's what I hear. It's hard out here for a pimp. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So but don't. So like my heart was in the right place because I was pointing out, hey, this is bad that people are representing. That we're doing these caricatures, and I was doing it in a way. But it also, to do it, you have to then do all those characters. And some people might find them offensive. I did a character about, it doesn't matter, like as far as gender and gay or straight, it doesn't matter what you are. Love is the most important part. But to do that, I had somebody who was pretending to be trans to get laid. That's not a good idea.
Pretending to be trans to get laid by...
Leslie Jordan, who was also playing a straight guy who was pretending to be gay because it brings in the cougars, because they lie to themselves. He's like cougars. They lie to themselves. They say that homosexuality is a choice, and they know it's a deep, dark lie, and so they've got this hollow in their heart. And you know what I fill up that hole with? My big old dick.
Oh, gee.
I tell them, you're right. Homosexuality is a choice, and I now choose you. And they give themselves over to me 100% because it backs up their warped worldview. I saved their lives. They let me do butt stuff, whatever I want. But don't watch it. But don't watch it. I'm telling you.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
So I was trying to...
Kids,
tell the story.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, trying to tell the story with edgy. Anyway, what I'm saying is it was a good time. Nolan North is fantastic in it. The voiceover episode is my favorite, and that's all.
Oh, that's amazing.
We probably won't be making any more of it. That's all.
No sequels.
Maybe one day I could make them for YouTube, since YouTube's the most streamed service out there.
Yeah.
Of all the streaming services.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have a big presence on social media these days?
I do not. I can't. I don't know how to work it.
Yeah.
And I haven't had anybody teach me.
Yeah. It takes a team.
Yeah, and evidently if you know it, it's easy. I just don't. You got to let people into your life a lot, and I never know. How much.
Like our buddy Nathan, some people just have it to a science.
Yeah,
really.
And I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
but
I could go on and do songs, vaudeville songs, as King Candy.
Yeah, you could.
And I could probably get some clicks from that.
You sure could.
But the whole idea of content just pisses me off. I'm somebody who does not like that word. Contents is like, the only other time you hear is like the contents, like on detective shows, and like, what are the contents of his stomach? Well, his last meal was this.
Oh, yes,
right. It's not art. It's art. It's stories. I'm that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a story guy.
Right. Yeah. That's what it's about. Art. Yeah. Art saves the world.
Well, that's I think somewhere woven into the fabric of Disney is that thread that you just it all started out with a mouse, and I think that was his number one thing. He said, first, it could be outer space, it could be cowboys, it could be ancient Rome. It's the story, and that then from there, the rest is actually kind of details. Romeo and Juliet was a story. Look at Shakespeare. He was apparently good at it.
Yeah.
He was able to pull off a few stories.
Yeah.
And isn't there a trope out there that said there are only 7 stories?
Yeah, there's 7 or 12. It depends.
Yeah, people differ on that.
Yeah, but it's, yeah.
A hero goes on a journey.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
They boil it down to the most basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you describe the voice swap game?
I need to urinate.
Okay.
And I don't want to do it in my pants again. Because
Okay.
it's just
Again?
so much to clean up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wore my peeing pants, but
Shall we dive in and get this over with? He's got to go potty.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oh, am I going to try to do one of your voices? It's not going to work.
Well, that's okay. You explain it. I'll give you.
We've already discussed.
I'll give you a phrase of Darkwing Duck, say, for instance, and then you say the same phrase back in one of your character voices.
Okay.
Then you give me one in your character voice, and I'll sing it back in one of mine.
This is. I'm not a voice. Okay, go on.
Okay. How about King Louie from Jungle Book? And I'll
you
give
do
you
King Louie?
Yeah, but not in Jungle Book, the original. But
I know. Since then, you're Louis Prima.
Yes, I am. And so I think I'll steal a little bit from the song. Well, I'm the king of the swingers, whoa, the jungle VIP. That's it. I'm the king of the swingers, whoa, the jungle VIP in your character.
King Candy. I'm the king of the swingers, ho, the jungle VIP, ho, ho, ho. He had more hoes. He had too many hoes.
That was good.
That's what the king's...
There's no such thing as too many hoes.
That's what...
But seriously. All right, now.
So now I'll do a character and... okay. All right. This is the Duke of Wesselton from Frozen. I dance like a chicken with the face of a monkey. I fly.
I dance like a chicken with the face of a monkey. I fly. I figured we'd drag Tigger into that mess.
Oh, great.
All right.
How about two fellow pirates? How about Don Carnage and Steve the Pirate?
All right.
That's true. Okay, Don Carnage. You know something? If I wasn't already me, I would envy you because you get to meet me.
If I wasn't already me, I would not be you.
I would envy you.
I would envy you.
Because you get to meet me.
Oh my gosh, it's Steve the Pirate is the longest line he's ever had. If I were not you. No, if I were not me, I would envy you because you get to meet me. I guess.
That's pretty damn good. That's pretty severely bodacious.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. I must have many other roles.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, here's Hey falling off the boat.
Okay.
Into the water, and then he comes up.
That's
okay.
Yeah. How do you do that in anybody else's?
And anybody else, I don't know. How about maybe Taz?
I was going to say Taz doesn't really speak that much.
That'd be good. It was weird, huh? It was like we were in the room. That didn't make sense. Thanks for being here, buddy.
This is man, so cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's beautiful. Did we ask if there's anything upcoming we should know about?
Yeah, just Resident Alien.
There you go.
And yeah, that's it.
Be there.
I'm going to chill some after that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
Wow. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. This was another episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris, Jim Cummings, Alan Tudyk. Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. If you guys like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out, helps you out, find more videos like this. You can find bonus content on Patreon. You can find merchandise on Shopify, Jim Cummings Closet, all that good stuff. We will see you in the next one. Thanks again, Alan, for joining us. I'm producer Chris, Jim Cummings. We will see you in the next one.
Cheers.
The end. It's just that easy.
I'm going to run and pee.
Yes.
In a place.
I'll wait out here.
That is made for pee.